Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Krista here doing the monthly forecast for March 2018. This is for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So we'll be doing a 10-card Celtic cross spread today for your monthly forecast. I really hope that you enjoy this. I am using my new tarot deck. Finally found a nice tarot deck that I enjoy, and I'm introducing our Romance Angels cards for an additional romance reading on top of your general reading for the month. So this is for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising for March 2018. It is a general reading. If you'd like personal questions answered, contact me at the information in the description box, and we can set up either a pre-recorded video for you, or we can do it face-to-face together, whatever you prefer. I hope everyone is doing well. Thank you to each and every one of my subscribers, both old and new. I appreciate you more than you know. Thank you so much for your support and encouragement. And I really hope that you enjoyed today's reading, and I hope that it's helpful for you for the month of March. So what does Leo need to know for the month of March 2018? What does Leo need to know for the month of March 2018? So we have the Six of Pentacles here. So a great deal of fairness in the real world is some energy that might be occurring for you this month, or a message that's particular to specific Leos. And I'm always curious to see if jumping cards from the tarot will show up in your reading as well. But unlike the traditional oracle here, where I do allow for jumpers, I am going to be choosing from the center of the deck for you for today's reading. And then we have, of course, temperance there, which is really just patience. So it could be that an issue of fairness and patience is occurring for you this month. Messages for Leo for March 2018. All right, let's get your cards laid down and get into it. So you're right off the bat with three major arcana. Major arcanas really are just speaking to enormous energy. They very rarely speak to a person necessarily, unless we have some court cards around it, which we do. So for major arcana, lots of very probable, lots of good changes for you. Wow, 5 major arcanas. A great deal of growth is projected for you this month, is from what I can see right off the bat here. 2 of Fire is the bottom of the deck, general energy for the entire reading. So this is really going to, this energy is going to touch on all the other cards. And really this is talking about, you know, considering which direction you're willing to take action on here. You're willing to take action, you're on board with something, but it's almost like you need to be sure before moving ahead, maybe consulting with another person, maybe tying up some loose ends here. But a decision does need to be made here, and I think that you're probably aware of what that is in a general sense for my viewers, but you do recognize something needs to, an action needs to be taken, or if a small action has already been taken, it's sort of like it's working out to not be enough, and something really needs to come to a head or come to fruition for you here. Great deal of strong energy. I'm surprised by all the major arcana, especially 2 in the career, and which is you, and then the situational cards here. So there could be, let's get into it before I start surmising throughout the whole spread. Let's get into why I'm saying what I'm saying just by glancing at what's going on here, generally speaking. So representing you this month, Leo, is the Tower. This is really just, it can be read as something that's catastrophic that you weren't expecting, but it's 10 to 1. It's going to be something that you probably saw coming that you just simply cannot be prepared for, right? There's no preparing under the sun. It's almost like becoming a new parent. It's like you can have, you know, the crib and the room painted and, you know, everything's tickety-boo, but it's almost like you have to experience it in order to really fundamentally understand what it's all about. Otherwise, it just stays an idea or it just stays a concept. And that's what this is talking about here. So major shifts, major changes that you probably saw coming. You might have even, again, you might have even been looking forward to or like been, you know, anticipating on some level, but there was no amount, but you realized that there was only so much you could do about it, or that you were sort of at the beginning of the phase of taking action on perhaps a large project here. And typically with the card in traditional tarot is going to have a lightning bolt appear and sort of like tearing the Tower open a little bit, and there's some people jumping out. That's really just indicative to me, especially because it's not happening in this card. This is indicative of just something that's you're becoming aware of something, right? You're becoming enlightened by something here. So it's not necessarily terrible. It's not that everything's falling apart. It's just that it's like with the old in with the new. But probably the most shocking part about the Tower here, because it represents you this month, is that you could be saying or doing something shocking here that you didn't really expect or you didn't anticipate, except for look at the position you're in type thing, and then that'll explain why this is coming to a head here, or something's abrupt here, right? And because it represents you, I mean, it could very well be you. You could be abrupt with someone else or really swiftly change or disrupt something. Again, not necessarily bad. It's probably a long time in the coming, to another person or another group of people, or to a job or to a commitment here. But on the other hand, like I said, this is an energy. So this is something that's probably happening around you or to you, something that you're going to have to face here. And it doesn't have to be a bad surprise. It could just be like this shock, this illuminating shock, okay? But again, it could be very, very exciting, and it could be here because something has been revealed. So, and again, this is to your benefit that this is occurring, okay? So here we have the Emperor in the situation. So and again, Leo, I mean, this is kind of your card. We have the Leo, the Lion rather here. The Emperor is really saying, as a major arcana energy, that you are the master of your domain, right? So it could be that something is happening to the home front here. Something is happening within a relationship or a long-standing commitment here. Again, it could be job, it could be travel, school. It doesn't have to be your home and family. It is a general reading, so however you want to apply this. But this being you, and then the situation being the Emperor, is saying you may have to rise above this, or you may find that because of this, even though it's maybe sudden or out of the blue, as it were, that this is going to enlighten you to the point of like pure illumination, where it's like you get it. You understand something you couldn't have possibly understood before, just by making small moves or trying to figure out which way to go, or directing yourself. In other words, it's almost like there's no way in or out of it. This is what's occurring here. And then there's this sense of, I'm better off because of this. Like you're the Emperor. The situation is that you're coming out on top, is what I'm trying to say, after something that's sudden. So really feeling quite powerful here, really feeling like you're now, if you weren't already, or if something was upset here in the home front, workplace, travel, okay, however you're applying this, that, you're like, this made me a better person. I'm stronger because of this. I actually mastered the outcome. I mastered the trauma. I mastered the concern, or even the shakeup, even the sense of, you know, something sort of had to fall apart in order to come together better. It's almost like it's going to work to your benefit. And here's why I think it will. And here's why I think you're going to come out on top and be stronger for it, is because the foundation is the moon. Again, another major arcana, very strong energy here. And we're looking really at, you know, secrets, right? We're looking at underlying emotions, underlying, not secrets in the sense of, say, the High Priestess, where there's secrets toward personal gain necessarily, or, you know, being held from someone in order to get something, not necessarily that you don't deserve, but it is a little bit different in the sense where there's you know, something's under the surface. And I think this is what's going to come here. It's going to be revealed here, something that had been hidden. And very much in the emotional realm, you could find yourself dealing, for example, with another a Cancerian, or you might have Cancer in your chart. So that's June, what is it, June 23rd, I think, to July 24th is the Cancerian. So you might know somebody like this. Somebody might be revealing, a Cancerian in your life might be the person actually revealing this. If not, it could just be really strong psychic moon energy here for you. So really just secrets, a lot of feminine energy here as well. Something that had been kept from you is being revealed to you. It's going to shake things up, but you're better off for it. That's what I'm seeing here. Here in your recent past is the Four of Swords. This is just generally rest. And anytime we're looking at air or swords, as it were, we're dealing with the intellect, right? The mind. So you would have, like, a lot is at play here. It's almost like it's out of your hands, right? But again, it's working out to your benefit. It's in your best interests here, and you couldn't have planned for it anyway. It's almost like you were resting on something, maybe even waiting, right? You might have been waiting for this to be revealed. Information, very probably emotions. Of course, the moon is ruled by Cancer. Cancer is a water sign. Waters rule as an element. They rule the emotions. So it could be this is happening on an emotional front for you. And again, so your recent past is, you know, just sitting on something, sitting on some ideas, maybe understanding here finally that there's no getting away from this. This is just the way, it's the way it has to pan out for you this month. But again, it's to your benefit. It's to your benefit. Even if it looks like on some level here, something has been taken from you. The measure of illumination and how you react to it, and a secret revealed, at least one secret revealed here, or something brought to your attention. Hopefully you're not holding this in if this is your energy, because it would just be like holding in secrets and then, you know, being, you know, pretending it's not bothering you. But, you know, it's a good time to get it out if that's the case here. I picked up, look at this, I went a little bit early. We're up here with number 5. Our short-term outlook is the King of Fire. So of course we have the King of Wands here. This could be a Sagittarius, another Leo, or it could be an Aries, or someone with those energies here. Basically, we're looking at someone who is, you know, who has mastered their sense of passion, mastered their sense of, you know, force. It's also, you can see here very clearly that this is dealing strictly with the heart. The rods is, or fire, is ruling the element of, it's the element of fire, right? So it is those signs, and Leo rules the heart. So Leo, this could be you. If you're, it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, this could be being your short-term outlook is, again, look, so we have the Emperor, someone who's really come out on top. You've learned an enormous lesson here that you couldn't have planned for, so don't beat yourself up for it if that's what's going on. It's just, that's the nature of the beast. It could be something, again, even if you were expecting it, there's no way you could have understood how to react to it. So you're coming out on top here. And then again, in terms of your short-term outlook, coming out on top here, just really strengthened, boldened by it. In fact, it might even make you feel more loving, more passionate, more aware of the heart, more in tune with the heart, and curious too that we have, you know, the moon, so water here, and then, you know, fire here. So it could be this, you're getting some mastery over your emotions, or this month will include mastery over your emotions after you've come through something or gone through something here. In your present state of the problem is the Nine of Earth. This is really feeling settled. This is Nine of Pentacles is another way of reading this. This is feeling independently settled, okay? Independently well-to-do is another way to frame this. Independently sufficient, prosperous. So it could be that this has to do strictly with a partner. Again, it doesn't have to be a love relationship. It can be. It could have to do with a work situation. It could have to do with a living situation. Anytime we're dealing with Earth and Pentacles, we're dealing with, you know, the five senses, the real world, practical day-to-day matters, for example. And the Nine of Pentacles is really just speaking to like that fulfillment in the real world. You've got it together. You don't need really anything from anyone else. You're self-sufficient. And with this being the present state of the problem here, it could be that this is what's upset, and it's sort of leading to this. Maybe you just need to make a decision around where to live, who to live with. It could have to do with a living situation. It could have to, you know, revealing a deep-seated honesty here with regard to how you really truly feel about it and how the other person really truly feels about it. Again, whatever is revealed here is going to be working out in everyone's favor. So if there is an impetuous at all this month to get to the root of something, it would be a really nice time to do that, whether that's going within Leo or discussing things with a partner this month, because just a lot of changes here. Here with your outside influences, we have the Page of Fire. So here, I mean, we've got a lot of energy that belongs to your element. The Page is really saying that this is like the beginning. Somebody could be bringing a passionate message to you. You already have the biggest heart here, so it could be that you're teaching someone else how to have a big heart, how to be comfortable with being passionate and having a big heart, maybe just being free about that. Maybe there's a new element or a renewed element of trust and passion here if this is a relationship. But again, it can be applied to a creative project as well, or really any work or travel, depending on how you're applying this. As always, these are just really stunning cards and colors and images. So I hope you can get a feel for what's going on in that card there. We're looking at another moon as well. So there could be some emotional connection here with someone who's, you know, offering some passion. Again, this is your external influence. Someone would be bringing this to you. It'd be a message being brought to you by someone with that intention, you know, passion. Maybe, you know, let's try it. Let's do it. Or I really appreciate your heart, and I want to know how you tick, and I want to learn how to operate that way. Maybe you can show me or help me. So maybe you have some advice to give somebody here, or they're looking for that from you, or maybe it's just like romantic passion. Here we have in your internal influences is temptation. Of course, this is representing the Devil card. Anytime we're looking at the temptation or Devil card, we're looking at addictions, we're looking at overconsumption, we're looking at, an addiction can mean anything. It can be an addiction to worry, it can be an addiction to, again, here with the Nine of Pentacles here with the present state of the problem, it could be an addiction to codependency, if that rings a bell for you. It could be that you've gotten away from being independent and now there's a codependency here that's uncomfortable, and this is how it's playing out in your heart. For example, as an internal influence, this is how you're carrying it around with you. It's a sense that it could be a heaviness. This is also, the Devil does represent Capricorn, so there could be Capricorn either in your chart in the first 5 planets, or it could be that you're dealing with someone who is a Capricorn or has heavy Capricorn influence in their chart. Another thing to, anytime we're looking at like a lot of major arcana, especially at the Tower, the Devil, and then we have Death as your outcome. Just beware here if there's any likelihood of robbery or theft or anything that could happen to your home. If you have a security system that's out of date, for example, just really look, get that up to date. Anything having to do with security right now in the real world, okay? Especially, and anything to do with secrets and telling secrets or keeping them. Decide if that were the case, why you would be doing that. As in, if you're keeping them, why can't you trust this person? And if someone's withholding them from you, why don't they trust you? Okay, just throwing that out there. So that warning aside, again with the Devil, we're just looking at the essence of addictions. There's a great deal of sexual energy here as well, especially with the external influence of the Page of Fire, like, the beginning of passion. You already sort of feeling this up here. Again, whether you're inside or outside of a relationship, this could be the way you feel about life, right? This could be how life feels to you when you go about life that is giving you these things. And so if that's the case and you are in a relationship or you are interested in someone and it's, got a little bit of spark to it, it might be nice if you feel inclined to maybe act on that. You might say, you know what, I'm willing to, like, maybe we want to take it to the next stage. Maybe it's, and you don't have to have a conversation necessarily. Maybe you can see how you feel about it and then act a certain way and see if they respond to you about that. But ultimately, there's a great deal of passion here, and then we have a great deal of sexual energy. If there is sexual energy here, just be sure that it doesn't become addictive, I guess would be the only warning behind that. In the hopes and fears section of your reading is Seven of Earth. This is really just feeling like what you're doing in a practical sense is all for naught, or it's unstable or maybe going nowhere. Again, you've gone from 9 to 7 here, so you feel like you might be going backwards a little bit, and I can't help but think that, or feel rather, that there's a sense of like you're moving, or something's being switched up for you here rather drastically. Even if you saw it coming. And there's a sense of, you're going to take a little bit of a hit for it, right? And so this could be all it is. Like you saved up for so long, or you prepared so long, but there was just no telling what was really involved here. And it's just a little, it's just a way of saying that, keep going. Don't let the doldrums get you. Don't let this sense of there's no point, that type of thing. Another way to read Seven of Pentacles is to say as well that, continue to work hard. Don't think that it's all for naught. I'll leave it there. It's worth the work. It's worth the trouble. It's worth it. It's just things are going to be shaken up a little bit, but again, you're going to come out on top, and it's going to benefit you in the long run. And here with your long-term outcome, as I mentioned, is the Death card. This is transformation. Long-term outcome, I honestly not surprised to see her here after the Tower, you being the Tower. Yes, there is an end to something. But again, ultimately, all that means is the beginning of something else. And it could, I don't see the world here, but there could just be like a cycle, or it could be just that, you've made up your mind, you've had enough with secrets, you've had enough with holding things close to your chest, especially if you've been holding something in and this is a romantic situation. It could be that you're just like letting it all out, and everything's sort of working out in your favor, and it's just going to be like, okay, where do we go from here? But definitely one door is closing, meaning another one opens. You're going to be learning a lot about yourself in this process, so take heart. I think I'm going to leave it there, unless a Leo is dealing with an actual death in the family, for example, or someone with a Leo in their first 5 planets of their chart here. It might be a nice month to do a lot of, what's it called, like memory work around the deceased person, if that's the case. But otherwise, we're just looking at cycles. Let's get into your romance reading, Leo. And as I said, for my oracle cards, I will accept jumpers here. So we're looking for advice for you. What's the advice for Leo for March 2018 for romance? advice for Leo for March 2018 for romance. All right, so we just need 2 more little cards here. And then, as I always do, I will get a couple more cards from you from the other decks because I'm really loving using a lot of decks. And that one is just crying to come out there. There we go. Put these over here. So what have we got? 1, 2, 3. Really fun from what I can see already here. So in the As You Are card is reconciliation. If you're in a committed relationship or in a love relationship, someone from your past is returning to your life. It could be that there was a minor separation here. That's what this is all about. Maybe you're finding your footing in a relationship and you're coming out stronger than you were before. If this is a creative project or you're not singling and mingling, this really is about, you know, a project or a theme or creative venture, you know, sort of, you know, keeping its head above water. Like, don't forget about me. So if there's something that you're still interested in creating here, you're going to want to give it another look, another reconsideration. Here in the Are You on the Correct Path? This is new love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. Well, absolutely. I mean, this could be what's happening here. I mean, this could be tearing up. Maybe you had a whole life plan for yourself and you're like, what is going on? I didn't expect any of this, or I only thought it was going to go this far, etc. So it could be like a whole new love, a whole new world is open to you here. And it's going to shake things up and really take you to task. Like, what are you made of, right? But all the same, if you are in a committed relationship, this is going to be interesting because it'll be the next level of your commitment, right? And of course, if you're dating or singling and mingling, it's going to be like, ooh, this is exciting. It's mutual, right? You can be romantic with this person. And then, of course, if you're not either of those categories and this is a creative project, this is about really doing your creative projects with a lot of heart. You want to do it from the heart. Don't overthink it because the heart is where it's at, and that's what art is all about, and that's what's going to make you original. Your main obstacle is letting go of control issues. So allow the situation to unfold naturally. Absolutely. This is actually to your benefit as well. You don't want to have a stranglehold over something or someone else, especially if it's organic and it's meant to happen in its own time. Again, maybe you were trying to manage it here somehow, and that was frustrating. So let go of control issues. This is your main obstacle here. Let people be themselves. Be honest. Reveal your feelings here in a safe way. So again, this can be applied for both mingling and singling and for committed couples as well. If this is a creative project, I'm going to suggest here that this is about letting go of being perfect, letting go of perfectionism around your creative projects. Here is what is helping you. It could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. Yeah, for sure. Maybe don't keep scouting for other people if you are dating. Maybe just pay attention to this one person at a time. If you are in a committed relationship, this is lovely. Again, recall how important this person is to you. Maybe even remind them. If this is a creative project and none of the other 2 categories fit you, absolutely stick to what you had planned. You want to put your heart and soul into what you had already undergone here and see how it pans out. Maybe don't give up on it is the final message there. And then how can progress be made? Flirt. How fun is that for my Leos? Extend your lighthearted energy to others. If there's nothing else that's going to lift you and someone else's heart and soul, it's flirting. It is actual romance. Have fun. Remember how to laugh, tickle each other's funny bones. Honestly, it's how we get to know how someone's brain works and how we're going to be suited for them as a partner and vice versa, is to know their sense of humor. This actually lets us into someone's psyche really well. And if you're not in a committed relationship or single and flirting, and this is a project of yours, just remember that it has to be fun for you. Your creative projects really should be fun for you. And I think that you'll feel a lot better about moving forward with them. And I think it'll help you relax. It'll also make the project, the outcome, especially when you're letting go of control issues, is just going to make the project or your creative venture that much more beautiful, right? It's going to make it that much more powerful because it wasn't just like you as an individual made it and no one else can make it. It was like you were in a specific time and place, and you'll always be able to capture that feeling, and you can possibly provide that feeling to other people when they look at it. So I do have one too many cards there, and we're running out of time. So that's why I put one back. However, I took these two because I was talking. So your final messages are yin. So this is emotional wellness, emotional fortitude. Feel free to be emotional with someone else. Just make sure you're in a safe environment to do that. You have lots of support here. Reach out to friends in your community if you feel you don't. It will be provided to you. Listening, you do have a guardian angel, so reach out and ask for protection at this time. If it is another person who you need to listen to, be an active listener this month. And, you know, ask that the favor is returned. Make sure that they are listening to you as well. And dreams can come true that way, Leo. And here with Dragonfly, we're looking at illusion. So this is just an essence of, you know, staying away from illusion. You want to get to the heart of the matter here. If there is a fantasy you want to bring to life, bring it up with your partner, especially if it's a little bit earthy or kinky. You know, bring it up, talk about it, maybe get to the heart of the matter here. And if that's not the case here, just be aware of illusions, be aware of talking yourself out of something that you've already begun, because you could be this close to, you know, the pot of gold that you're about to walk away from. So Leo, that is your reading for the month. I really hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.